joining us on another episode of the Carnival Show. I'm your host, Dr. Lepshus. Now today we're talking about Bacchanal.
We always talk Bacchanal.
Specifically. Today we're talking specifically about the origins of Bacchanal. Folklore has it that the slaves, when they got their freedom papers, they got liberated, they were so happy, monsieur. They took pans and they started beating them with metal spoons and whining on each other. And they made costumes with banana leaves and dashing leaves. And that's how Carnival started. I mean, there are more rumors. You know, they spoke about two fellas sitting by the market, beating pans, walking around town. And that's how Carnival started. There's much more story. So we're going to give you a history lesson in Bacchanal. How it all started.
Alright, Rihanna is here. We're on the Carnival Show and we have someone in the form of a mass historian almost with us on the show joining us. I'll let her introduce herself.
I'm Joan Hinkson, and I used to be the band leader for St. Lucian Spirit Carnival Band.
In the glory days.
The glory days, indeed.
Lucian Spirit! Let's get the band in order as we go down the road. Let's get the band in order.
You've been playing mass a long time. Can you? When was? Do you remember the first year you jumped Carnival? You played mass? When was that?
I'll tell you what.
A lady never tells. But
But my father had this thing, if we're going somewhere, one, all or none. So I was always going to Shirley, my sister, to Turks. Must have been the youngest member of Turks Carnival Band. Yeah, because Shirley had to bring me, or she's not going to get to go.
So what year was that?
Oh Lord, I must have been about in the 60s. Yes, I'll tell you.
60s.
Turks.
When was the best time or decade or span when Carnival was just perfect? What would you say?
Well, I would say it was perfect. it was good, right? I mean, we had. In the days of Miss Booty, that's when we started, I think, it had a lot of hype and a lot of competition, like Royal Lights Carnival Band, you're coming to get them, that sort of thing, Well, I don't see that anymore. People just come out, to jump and have a good time. But there really was competition in the time.
What do you think of the costumes then compared to now?
I wouldn't even compare.
It's not enough. You don't do rhymes. You don't do G-strings.
No, I'm not into that at all. It's not creative at all. Like in the days gone by of band coming down the road, you look at them and you say, "Hey, these are clowns." You see what they portray.
What do you see now?
You just see panty and bra. What can I say?
I ain't necessarily a problem with that, but okay. What's the secret? How do you keep playing mass? How do you do it? What do you talk? What's in your tea? You have a special fix you're drinking? I don't know.
The song is all in me.
All right, we'll leave it there. St. Lucian mass
Deep in me.
is what it is. It came from a good place and heading in the right direction. All right, Carnival Show.
This episode is your certificate in Bacchanal history. You just graduated with honors. Cheers!
HB, Saudi. Right now we represented for the true friend.
Now they say a picture speaks volume. But monsieur, old mass speaks people business, monsieur. Ça fait moon, me puis. Right? What's old mass? What is old mass? Now we spoke to the veterans. They walked us through the process of choosing a topic, whether it's government, whether it's people's bedroom business, whatever it is, and bringing that topic to life. It is not as easy as we think. Trust me.
This time we're talking about Old Mass, what it is, what its place is in Carnival, and to get some insight, we check in with a Old Mass veteran, Robert Poulbois Calderon.
Yes, I saved them. Man.
Good. All you have is a few items to work with to portray your theme, and then the public, whoever's watching, is supposed to immediately get what you're trying to say. So how hard is that?
It's not really hard, You just I just say that sometimes when I just have an idea, I think of it, and I just look a way to just at least come and just show it to the public, But my kind of films is not things that long, just short conversations, short lines, and bump to the point and you just get what I have to say one time.
How important is it to St. Lucian Mass?
Well, you see, there have a lot of people who come out, especially for Old Mass. There are people that come from overseas just to come down and watch the Old Mass. But them days is kind of lacking, dying. I don't know why, because some guys just feel out Old Mass is for them to come out and win. Old Mass is not a winning thing. It's something that we come together as a group and make the vibe nice, whatever you get to get. But because of them saying like one set of people winning, that one not getting nothing, so they just start to drop off and it just causing the whole thing to go down. But this year, coming back strong.
You understand? You might be butchering this year.
No, too soon.
All right, too soon. We'll leave it there. Old Mass. It's here to stay in St. Lucia Carnival. It's necessary and it's funny. Check it out. Carnival Show.
Now, Monsieur, if you all didn't know, Kaiso and Carnival, it goes hand in hand like green fig and saltfish, right? So if you didn't watch the news, if you didn't read the newspaper over the weekend, just go to a Kaiso tent. You might even find out what happened in your bedroom. This is Kaiso.
Me plenty question to ask the PM for him. So all I'm employed.
Kaiso, we believe, is important. And I'm sitting next to one of the famous writers, an award-winning or a Kaiso Monarch-winning writer, Mr. Trescott Augustine. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Absolutely right. So, can you, just tell the people, tell the audience, what are some of your biggest accomplishments in St. Lucia Kaiso over the years?
Well, first of all, what I see as my biggest accomplishment is the tent that we attending here tonight, right. Takeover tent, which was started in 1982, and of course, perhaps as my biggest accomplishment, this is what triggered the song Rasta. Because the documentation
and
of that history,
year.
And it won. So that speaks for itself.
So a Rasta can win a Kaiso tent.
Yeah, Rastas could.
Contrary to popular.
Yeah, from 1982, and you can praise Jah in Calypso. I think writing a Calypso is perhaps the most challenging songwriting that you could get, because it's like you say, you have to look for double turn, you have to look for pun, metaphor, satire, and have a message and have a melody that will captivate people, because at the end of the day, it's music.
No matter where you go, everybody knows
We keep our ears to the ground. I mean, there's no way you're going to be a successful writer if you don't live in the love of the common people, and you're not, I do have mobility, in society, so that you could address the various issues, as they come along. You have to know what you're talking about.
You have to know what's going on. Where are we today compared to yesteryear? Are we in good hand?
Yeah, I think so, absolutely. I mean, really. I mean, I watch the little children, and that's what encourages me. The children and the Calypso is not, before you just had a certain one sector of people singing Calypso, but now it's permeated right throughout the society. So that speaks volumes of where it's going and the broad acceptance of Calypso now.
Let me throw a question at you here, Mr. Augustine, and it may not be Calypso focused, but I suspect people might want to know, how do you maintain the beard?
Well, I just don't interfere with it.
Don't interfere with it.
I don't trouble it.
Let it do its thing.
Let it do its thing.
Now, just like Calypso, steel pan is the heartbeat of Carnival, the pulse of Carnival. Don't know if some of you all remember the rivalry between legendary bands like Diamond Steel and North Stars, going song for song on the road, like a steel pan clash. It was bad like that. Don't know if you all remember. Now, although the hype kinda died down, steel pan is still alive, trust me, it's still alive. But I'm not sure if we'll ever see rivalry on that level again.
everybody watching. Instead of you falling behind.
Get the real background information on steel pan in St. Lucia, of course we consulted one of the greats to ever, the best to ever do it, Mr. Shining.
Well, I started playing steel pan at the age of 10. Actually, I was grafted into the first lady steel band named Silver Tones. My brother was the one responsible for that band. He used to arrange for them, in charge of the band, and I was about 10 years, and they draft me in to play percussion.
Could you even see over the band? Were you tall enough? How did you manage that?
No, that they had me in front. Yeah.
All right. So panorama and steel pan music is embedded in St. Lucian Carnival. I think we can even argue that it's you can't separate the two.
No.
But
it's part of the program, Carnival program, and a lot of people looking forward to the panorama.
Is that still the case compared to the years gone by in this modern era? Is panorama still necessary? Can we have carnival without steel pan music? What do you think?
It's a vital part of carnival, and I don't think we should take it out of carnival. We should leave it there. But it is. It's part of the program, right? A lot of people looking forward to the panorama. It starts on the Friday night, and they look forward to that. For them, that's where the carnival starts, right? Getting this pan element into the carnival.
Ahead of panorama, what's in your mind? How do you know what songs to choose to capture the panorama title?
Actually, when I first started doing panorama music, I used to go for the popular songs, and I always think that people need to know what you play, right? So they can relate to you, they can sing, and that's a plus, right? So I started doing that in the early days, and towards the end, well, after a while, you get tired of doing certain things. So I started doing my own music towards the end, and that was successful as well. I won about 4 or 5 panoramas doing my own music. And actually, one of the songs, a judge came down from Trinidad and he heard the song, and he actually invite his nephew to come and sing that song. It was recorded in Trinidad. The song name is Song of Praise.
So you mentioned that you won panorama in St. Lucia up to at least 5 times thereabout. How many times? Too many to remember.
Too many, that's right. Because this thing started in 1971, right? That was first panorama. That's where it started. The greatest thing that really ever happened as far as Diamond Steel, in particular, and band, is when we met some of the brass bands, and we used to give them serious competition, not only the pan side, but the brass bands as well, right? And to me, that was some form of achievement on the road. When we go back in the pan, I would say, yes, we met that band, and then we soon would sing. Sing is you take the crowd from the band that play next to you, right?
So that was the objective, stealing the audience, try and get everyone to jump up on your side.
That's right, that's what we're on the road for.
Steel pan is also featuring in some popular music in the United States, even regional songs. You hear a little bit of steel pan sampling, so you think steel pan has come a long way?
Yes. We had a discussion, some friends and myself, about pan. One of the things we said, we don't appreciate what we have, right? And it's a fact. England, United States, Switzerland, Germany, even the Japanese, they go all out to make this thing happen, right? We appreciate the pan, and the Japanese, as someone was saying, they wish they would have wanted to invented this thing, because where they would have taken it, it would be a good way out where it is right now, right? A long way from where it is right now.
All right. Well, we'll leave it there. Mr. Shining, steel pan has its place. You hear that, policymakers? Do something. Put steel pan back to its former glory. Carnival show, yeah.
King and Queen of the bands, some may say, are like the gods of Carnival. They preside over the Monday, that climactic Monday and Tuesday jump up from Mega G to Mega G. Just like Kaiso, just like Steel Pan, just like Old Mass. You cannot have a serious carnival without King and Queen of the bands. You just can't.
My name is Sonia Sifley. Hello, everyone.
All right, so King and Queen of the Bands, what's its role in St. Lucian Carnival?
Okay, King and Queen of the Bands is really our cultural part of the carnival. Carnival has evolved. Remember, we started off, you may remember a couple of years ago when we had maybe 5 bands. One band would be under original, one old mass, one historical, and so on. We now see many different bands, all of us competing, but the one glue in terms of creativity is King and Queen of the Band show.
I mean, over the years, it's been grandiose. It's the indicative of the gods of Carnival, so to speak. And then you mentioned that it's kind of, it went down a little bit. What would you say is the cause of that?
It went down because the cost is really what is prohibitive. When some persons, you meet them and you speak to them and they tell you the amount they have to pay to get a costume done and on stage, you would be surprised at it. Because think of it, you need to get a welder involved because the welder has to build a frame and whatnot. The materials, you can't get materials here, not even putting on a little band.
Is it just for the bragging rights? Well, what does it mean? You win that, just help walk us through that experience. When the judge say, hey, so-and-so is King and Queen of the Band.
It's more than bragging rights. It is almost months of persons going to a mass camp, burning the midnight oil. And when it comes down to Carnival, you must see people walking around like zombies. Their eyes can hardly open. Yeah, but guess what? Next day, when you see them Carnival Monday and Tuesday on the road, but they are happy because the final product made it on the stage. And like you say, even if you place first or second or third, it doesn't really give you back what you spent into it in terms of, because if you have to take...
So why do it?
The love, when people say the love of Carnival, Riani, it is really so. That love of Carnival is very, very deep.
What happens to those costumes afterwards? What do you do?
That is the sad thing.
What happens?
We try every year to find places to put those pieces of art. We don't have museums. We don't have places even large enough, because years ago when the pieces were smaller, you may have found a place to put it here or there. But now lots of places, they don't even have the space to put it out.
So
and unfortunately, something has to be done.
Right, and we can expect it on the road this year, King and Queen of the Bands for sure.
Oh, King and Queen on the road this year, and I will encourage everyone to come out on that Thursday night and witness what the bands have to offer.
All right, appreciate it. It's a work of art, works of art. So check it out.
Yes, it is really a labor of love. It is a work of art. Yeah. And if you really want to see what our St. Lucian people can do, come to King and Queen of the Band show. We can't have mass without King and Queen of the Band.
Say no more, Carnival show. This was King and Queen of the Bands. Now you know.
Yo, Operation Buy Your Costume. Tell them say we ready now. Operation Buy Your Costume.
Thanks for watching this episode. I've been your host, Dr. Lep Chisholm. Remember to subscribe, like, send us an invite. Whatever you do, send us a comment. Send us something. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube at Social Invaders. Join us right back here next time for another episode of the Carnival Show.
And my head swinging like a Tarzan. The ladies rolling up their bumper. The party lit without a lighter. Yo, when you see we in the place, all them girls they whining west. We there on their case, we not watching face, we in a haste. Them to pick up the best, all these two shots to erase. Turn up the treble and the best. Every time we touch down, we make the girl touch ground. 6:30 girl bend down, look the party shell down. Alright, every time we touch down, we make the girl touch ground. 6:30 girl bend down, look the party shell down. My girl just